Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Figure Forecast podcast with your host Scarlett and my lovely co-host Maeve. Today we have another special guest and another IFBB Figure Pro from the UK. We have Clare Barks on the show. Clare is a trained by JP athlete and is someone that I've personally followed for a long time with her journey, which I think is really great. And I want her to obviously speak about that today, because I think a lot of people will take inspiration from it. I know I certainly have. So I will pass you over to Clare now, and she can dive straight into her journey. So welcome, Clare.
Sure. I don't know how far back you want me to go. Because I didn't start competing in 2000. 2013 was when I first stepped on stage. But I don't know if you want me to go into sort of the history of me as a person, how I got there.
Whatever you want to tell us.
Sorry?
Whatever you want to tell us. Go back as far as you'd like to.
A bit of a background then. So right from day dot, I'd say, school age, I've been interested in sports, competing, team sports, athletics. Always played for the school in netball, hockey, you name it. I was there. I played netball and athletics at sort of county level. So it's always been a part of me, and the competitive side of me has always wanted to do some kind of fitness activity to sort of feed into that sort of competitive side of my personality. So that's really been in me right from day one. When I was 19, I nannied in London for a couple of years, and as part of my package, so to speak, with them, I got access to one of their cars, and they gave me a free gym membership. So every single evening, once the kids were in bed, I was out the house, and I'd literally go to the gym every single night. And looking back, I think that is when my passion for weights and weight training started. Immediately, I gravitated to the weights room. I wasn't really interested in the sort of cardio equipment. I used to watch what other people were doing. I used to speak to the guys in there and just ask them, how do I use this? How do I use that? And I just loved the buzz of weight training. So back in those days, it wasn't sort of Instagram, internet and all that. It was magazines. So I used to buy loads of magazines, look at all like the training splits, and basically followed like a Ronnie Coleman split, and just looked at all of their like training plans and copied them pretty much. Then it got to a point where I'd start writing my own plans, started understanding, targeting different muscle groups for what I wanted to achieve. And then I wasn't really sort of focusing on my diet then, but then I suddenly started thinking, reading all the magazines and what they were eating, what they were, all this protein and these shakes and what have you. And then I got really interested in the nutrition side of it. And I changed the way I was eating, because I was more sort of very much carb heavy sort of eater back then. And so I started eating a lot more protein, and I literally started watching my physique change just by doing the weight training and changing my diet. And that absolutely fascinated me. So from then on, that's when I sort of started studying a bit more into training and nutrition. And once I'd stopped nannying and working with children, I then started sort of pushing into like the personal training, started doing qualifications in sports nutrition, diets, training, personal training, and all that. But then there's a long gap between then when I was nannying to when I started competing in 2013. So in that gap, had 2 children, 2 girls, married to a guy in the forces. And although weight training was still like a very firm base of my training, I still did other things. I still played netball, I still did running. I still went out drinking every single weekend. Partying was a massive part of me as well. I'm kind of an all or nothing. So I'm all in the gym all week, and then I went and partied all weekend. And that kind of stayed with me until I made the decision to compete. So I still partied, but I still trained and wanted the best of both worlds. So a lot of my life has been juggling my training and fulfilling what I want to do, you know, with my training needs, alongside my husband being away in the forces, going to wars, and bringing up 2 children essentially by myself half the time because he was away a lot. So a lot of my life has been that, and it wasn't until they were sort of settled in school did I even think about competing. It wasn't even in my radar because it wasn't a thing. The magazines I sort of read with Roddy Coleman and all that, I just thought it was a big guys thing. I just didn't even cross my mind that women did it and it's something I could do. So that sort of came later on. Basically, after sort of Instagram sort of came about and I started seeing girls with incredible physiques on Instagram, I'm like, is that something I could do? And that was when the drinking stopped, the partying stopped. It was all in. So there's a lot in between, like I say, of like bringing up kids and what have you. So I don't know if you want to sort of delve into a bit more of that or. So.
Did you notice that your like physique changed a lot when you stopped the drinking and the partying then? Because obviously I assume your diet and your training stayed the same, but
I wouldn't say massively, because I've always been a very slim person, a very slim girl when I was growing up. But I always had quite an athletic build. I remember in school, I used to be embarrassed by my legs because all my friends had like straight up and down skinny legs, and I had like a little sort of quad curve. And I always used to say to my mum, I've got boys' legs. And I always wanted to cover them up. So, and then maybe I've made more progress, yeah, because I always I looked athletic, and I definitely lost a lot of body fat and became a lot more sort of, I wouldn't say muscular because I was still tiny, but you could see like the tone of the muscle.
Yeah.
And then when I stopped the drinking, stopped the partying, and really went in, that's when I sort of grew muscular wise, I suppose, because I focused all in on that. I stopped like running and what have you, because I'd just run a couple of marathons for 2 years before I stepped on stage, and that completely changed my physique because I had to stop a lot of the weight training to train for that. And I noticed I looked fatter but thinner, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it does play a part. It does play a huge part. Yeah, definitely.
I noticed, like, obviously you said when you were younger and through school and stuff, you were like playing, you know, on county level and in teams and stuff for your school.
Yeah.
How did you find it going from like such a like competitive team sport background, like being part of a team versus just going in on your own? Like, did you prefer one or the other, or did you find it like different, or was it just right, I'm competitive, I can kind of throw my hand up?
Yeah. To be fair, I'm a very independent, insular kind of person anyway. I'm very comfortable in my own company. I don't know whether that stems from my mum and dad instilling independence into me. They always supported whatever we wanted to do, me and my 2 sisters, and never sort of discouraged us. It was always like we wanted to. She'd never sort of make us feel guilty for leaving home or make us feel guilty for following a path that maybe wasn't, the traditional path. So I suppose a lot of my independence and my, being very comfortable in myself comes from then. But then after getting married, basically being dumped in a married quarter in a town that I wasn't familiar with, and my husband going straight away for 6 months, I just had to just deal with things, find things by myself. I had no car, no phone, no nothing, and literally just had to just kind of find my way. And then, like I say, having the children, my husband again being away when I was pregnant, him coming back, me having the baby, him going away again when the girls were young. And I've just always been happy and comfortable by myself. So when it comes to like training wise, when I first moved to the married quarter after we got married, I didn't have a gym membership or anything. So I literally had to do things in the house. So I used to set up little circuits for myself. I just always had to do something. So I used to set up circuits in the living room, set up circuits outside. I used to run. I used to find like steep hills, sprint up and down, just challenge myself. It's just something that's within me. So the competitive side, yes, I like that within a team environment. But then I'd get frustrated with some of the players if we were losing, and I know it's because of somebody. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with competing, it's all on me.
Yeah.
If I don't win, it's me. Do you know what I mean? So I can't blame anybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm quite comfortable and happy with that. And I like, in a sense, it's challenging myself. It's not, I mean, yeah, you go on stage to compete against other people, but I can't control who turns up on the day and what they've done to get there. All I can control is what I do. And so I compete against myself in the gym, at home when nobody can see what I'm doing, diet-wise, cardio-wise, step-wise. I know I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And if I didn't do that, I'm cheating myself. So yeah, I'm quite comfortable doing things independently.
Yeah. I think that's one of my favorite like parts of bodybuilding as well, or like favorite parts of the whole process, is the fact that it makes you, or like challenges you to grow so much as a person and to like do the fucking work, because nobody else can do it for you. And I think like it's a massive satisfaction that you get from it, but you also just develop such a like mental strength and stuff as well from it. So yeah,
100%. It's so I don't know what I was going to say then. There's such a I think for me, it's the stage part of it is almost like a milestone. You've done this thing, and now it's you like saying, I've done it, sort of thing. For me, what I love about competing is that bit, the prep. It's not the standing on stage. I don't do it for the glamour of the standing on stage and, oh, look at me sort of thing. I do it so when I get on stage, I'm like, the satisfaction of what I've done to get there, for me, is the massive part.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first stepped on stage in 2013, the goal was never to turn pro. It wasn't even in my radar that could be a possibility. It was literally, like I said, I'd been like running, playing netball, doing other things, but always weight training. And then in 2011, my mum runs a charity called Children of Fiji, and she was setting up a team of people to run the Brighton Marathon to raise money. And I'd started thinking about competing at that sort of time. And I said to her, look, yeah, I'll do this, raise some money for you, because it's a challenge and I love challenges. And then I'll consider competing either in 2012 or 2013. So I did that, kind of stopped the weight training to the extreme that I was doing it before, ran the Brighton Marathon, got excruciating knee pain in my training, and I ran the whole marathon in agony. My time was pretty good still. And I said to my mum, if you're doing it again next year, I'm going to do it, because I'm going to beat my time and I'm going to do it with no knee pain. And I did it, and I still got the knee pain. I beat my time, but still in the back of my head, like, what could I have got if I hadn't had that pain? But hey ho. And then after that, I was all in competing. But when I say all in, it was more of a case of, I'm going to try this because it's another challenge. It wasn't something I thought I'd continue doing. It was just like the marathon. I just thought, tick that box. It's a challenge, because I love weights. Running, I never really enjoy. I like sprinting, but I don't like long distance. But it was a challenge. But weights for me, I'm like, this is what I love, and I think I really, really enjoy this. But that first time I stepped on stage, it was more just, there's no expectation. It was just fun. And it was UK BFF back then, where you compete in a regional, and if you place top 3 or top 2, they get you an invite to the British finals in October. That's the only way you could get to the British finals. So it's a massive thing to get to the British finals. And in my first competition in 2013, I placed 3rd and got an invite. I'm like, shit, I'm going to the British finals. That's like my second competition, which was a massive deal back then. If you got an invite to the British finals, that was the prestigious, that's what you wanted, sort of thing. And then I placed 5th in the British finals. And if you came top 6 in the British finals, that was amazing. So I'm like, that was when I was kind of like, maybe I've got something here. And I was prepping myself, didn't have a clue what I was doing, didn't have a coach or anything. So then I competed in my first British finals, placed 5th in October, and they had a early qualifier for the 2014 British finals in November. I thought, sod it, I'll try and do that, and I won. I was like, fuck. So I was like, shit, I won. And then my second British finals in 2014, I placed 4th, so I came up a rank. And then I can't remember what I placed in my next qualifier. I might have won that. And then I won the British finals in 2015. And it's when I won the British finals in 2015, I was like, maybe I have got something here. Maybe I could be good at this. And then the whole Two Bros thing came about. And because back then you couldn't win, the only pro card that was given out at the UK BFS British finals was the open bodybuilding, one guy. You couldn't win a pro card as a female unless you competed internationally and basically won an international show, which is flipping impossible. Do you know what I mean? All different nationalities coming in, and you're on stage, and I've been to like several international, you're like 40 figure girls on stage. And you're like, how are they whittling this down? You can't win this, you know what I mean? Unless they spot you and you literally stand out straight away. It was, yeah. So when the Two Bros thing came about, and it was easier, well, say easier, there was more opportunities to win a pro card. I thought, let's just give it a go. And it was only then that I thought I could do it, sort of thing. But yeah, I can't remember when I picked up a coach. I think Joe Binley helped me out a little bit in 2015 before the British finals. And then I started working with Jordan, might have been 2016. So then I've had a coach since then. But when I won my pro card, I was under Hyacinth.
So you have obviously been competing a long time, like 10 years now. So when you did your first job, and then that was 2013, and then you went on to win the British finals in 2015, that's still 7 years until you won your pro card, right? Because you won your pro card in 2022.
Yeah.
Like, because, okay, most people might do a show, they might do 2-3 shows, maybe they'll do it for 2 years, 3 years, and then if they're not getting top call-outs or if they're not winning shows, they tend to throw in the towel, right? So what kept you going for 10 years before winning a pro card?
Like I said, for me, it's not the stage and it's not the pro card.
Yeah.
For me, I love doing this. I love the challenge of the prep. I will do this until I don't get a buzz from it anymore. I don't do it for the accolade. I don't do it for the pro card. Yes, the competitive side of me kind of wants to win. And I think what kind of kept me sort of thinking I could get this pro card was a couple of second places in 2018 and 19, literally just points between me and getting a pro card. And frustratingly wise, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm nearly there. But even when I got my pro card, it was almost like, I don't know, because I think once Instagram sort of became more apparent, I became a JP athlete and there was more eyes on me. And those near misses when I could have worn my pro card, it was almost like, when is she going to get it? There was more pressure on me and more expectation. So when I did win that pro card, yes, it was elation, but it was a lot of relief as well, that the kind of pressure's off. Do you know what I mean? It was...
Yeah.
Yes, it's a massive achievement.
Be at a certain
and yes, all that work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, you feel like you have to be at a certain level or achieve a certain result or whatever when
Yeah,
the eyes are on you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And with that, those near miss, I almost have like this imposter syndrome. Like I don't deserve to be here, sort of thing. And then when I won that pro card, it was almost like, yeah, yes, you are. You've done this. You know what I mean? You can achieve. But it's also showing other people that what can be achieved if you just keep consistently working.
Yeah.
So a lot of people expect nowadays to start a diet, start training, get a pro card,
Yeah.
you know, become a top coach, and
Yeah.
but that for me is not. I don't know. It's not an achievement. The fact that it's taken me this long and what I've done to get there, all the work I've put in, the mental fortitude, the hours in the gym, the days where I'm hungry and I have not slipped up once on my diet ever. That's an achievement.
Yeah.
And winning that pro card was, yes, it's amazing, but it's almost like validation that I was worthy of that, and to show other people that it wasn't, you know, it wasn't done in vain. It was, I am, I deserve it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I put so much pressure on myself in 2018 and 2019. No, 2000, yeah, no, it might have been 2019, to the point where when I got on stage, I completely just forgot all my posing, and I just literally, my head was just like, I thought everybody's expecting me, because I just missed out in 2018. I might be getting my years mixed up, but I'm just missed out. So the next year, everyone's like, you've got it, you've got it. All the messages in the DMs, it's yours, it's yours. You nearly got it last year, it's yours this time. I went on stage and I was just like, I don't think I smiled once. I could just completely just like, oh, the pressure.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. You know, when you, I get a lot of feelings and instincts about things. And in last year, the whole prep, I felt a peace. I felt like this is it, sort of thing. And even on the flight to Ireland, I felt like this warm, fuzzy feeling in me. I just felt like it was right. I was so calm. I've never been that calm before stepping on stage. Got off the plane and I landed in County Clare. And Claire was spelled how I spell my name.
Yeah.
And it was just like Claire there. And I just like, this is home. This is amazing. And it was so weird. Every little thing that happened on that trip was like, it was like, oh my God, this is meant to be. Oh my God, this is meant to be. The number I got, everything, just everything. And I got on stage and I just felt so confident and I smiled. Honestly, it was such a weird sensation, weird feeling. And then when they announced my name, I still didn't expect that, because you never do. But then when they did, and yeah, everything was just so perfect. It was almost like that. It was meant to be that.
Yeah.
That time, not the two times it was near misses. That weekend was just so perfect that it's, yeah, it was amazing.
Tell us about the Irish show, like what made you pick that? How was your experience? And what, like, did you approach it differently versus the last time you competed? Was that with a different coach? Just all of
Yeah,
it.
so working with Hyacinth, I mean, coaches that get bodybuilding simple pretty much. So, you know, you're always looking for this magic answer with a different coach. The only reason I stopped working with Jordan is because he stepped away from coaching and he recommended Hyacinth to me. And there's slightly different approaches to the training, and the diets are slightly different, but aside from that, it's pretty much the same. So yeah, the prep wise, and it didn't actually feel. 2018, I remember being like the toughest prep in the way that I felt. Yes, obviously every prep's tough, but this one didn't feel as like exhausting as that one did.
Didn't you have like a struggle where you weren't dropping weight? I think
yeah,
I remember
that was the year before. That was the COVID, when I competed in COVID. That was a weird, strange year. I competed in an outdoor.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Weird. Yes. So yeah, I had that year. I couldn't. My body wasn't dropping the fat. I had a really, really tough prep that year. So I don't think I came in my peak condition, which really frustrates me because I do not like to step on stage unless I'm in condition. But
No,
yeah,
yeah,
the one
you
thing
get
that I
conditioned.
yeah, I do. But then in 2022, when I won my pro card, and I had to do the regional, you have to do a pro qualifier first. Hyacinth wanted me to step on stage there, kind of just as like a posing practice. We're not going to peak for that. So I didn't do anything different. I literally just had my rest day diet, got on stage, did my thing, walked off, and carried on prep because I was competing a few weeks later. And I remember in my head thinking, I'm not in condition. I hate this. But he kept saying, we're not peaking you for this because we're peaking you for the pro show.
Yeah.
So I had to, I had to step on stage then, just thinking this isn't me. But yeah. Anyway, I still won. But
I think because sometimes, like when you go in with zero expectations and just, you're just kind of doing it and getting on with it, you're not putting like massive amounts of pressure on yourself.
And I think I did that with the pro qualifier last year as well. I said to myself, I'm not putting this pressure on myself again. And I actually stepped away from Instagram quite a bit more than I had done previously. And I kept a little bit quieter about my prep because I think documenting that in 2018 and 19 put so much pressure on me. And the amount of inboxes I was getting saying, it's your time, you've got this, you've got it. I'm like, how many people am I disappointing here if I don't? And then when I didn't, I just missed out in 2018. 2019, it was like, you have to this year. And like I said, I just went to pieces. I was like, I just can't do this. So I think taking that pressure off me and just saying to myself, it is what it is, just made me feel so much at ease. And like I said, the weekend was perfect. The show was run amazingly. People were amazing. Even like, when you have like the pre-show meeting, it was run so professionally. It wasn't like people stood around, we were all sat down. It was everything about it was perfect. So it was the right time.
Yeah, so. I've heard that's quite a good show actually. I've not been to it. I only started.
It's really good. It's the best run show that I've been to. It really is. Yeah, because they're quite an independent. They have like the muscle contest in different areas. But yeah, I highly recommend doing one of their shows. Really, really good. So yeah.
So what's your kind of plans at the moment then?
Well, my plan was just to chill this year, which I have done, and I had breast implants years and years and years ago. After I breastfed both my girls, I basically lost everything, and it had been over 12 years of having them in. And back in those days, I was told you should get them replaced every 10 years. It's always been in the back of my head thinking I should get them changed, but then competing got in the way. So when I won my pro card, I was like, this is a chance to get this done, have a complete year off, chill out. So I got the breast implants changed in January. So you're supposed to have 6 weeks off training. I had 6 weeks off upper body. I was back in the gym doing legs 2 weeks after, but hey.
Couldn't stick it.
I can't just do nothing.
No.
And they were fine. When they took them out, they said to me they didn't need to be taken out because the implants were pristine and the capsules, no scar tissue, no nothing. They were pristine. But hey, you don't know until you do it, do you? So yeah, I got that done. So, and then this year, yeah, I'm prepping myself at the moment. I moved away from a coach end of last year because I thought there's no point while I'm sort of recovering from the op and that. So I'm just doing my own thing. And it's been really nice because I've been able to then say yes a bit more to going out for meals with family, not stressing if I've missed this, I've missed that. And it's been really nice to just sort of be a bit more chill. And I think prepping myself as well, also working by myself, it's been easier to do that, because when you've got a coach and you feel like you've got to follow this plan, and if something comes up, you feel bad for saying, oh, I've got this to go to, can I do this? I'm just doing it. And it's been really, really nice. And, you know, I know how to eat, I know how to put muscle on. So it's not like, you know, I will probably pick up a coach end of this year, beginning of next year. Whether I compete next year or the year after, I don't know, because I might want another solid off season with a coach before I compete. Or I might just pick up a coach and just sort of sod it and go for it. But yeah, when I'll do it when I feel the time's right. I don't feel now I've won that pro card, I feel like I've achieved that, you know, that pinnacle goal. Now I'll just go with the flow. It is what it is, sort of thing. You know, I would like to experience standing on a pro stage, but I'm in no rush right now to do that. So
Yeah, take a breather. I think
yeah,
have the attitude you do, and the kind of outlook and the ability to kind of go that 10 years and still love the process, and, you know, be in it for all of the right reasons, then there's not really a rush, like, or a must do by X date.
Yeah, and the fact that I have been so regimented for 10 years, it has been really nice this year, to be fair, just to sort of, I fancy going out for a meal today, I could do that. You know what I mean? And still stay on plan. It's not, you know, I'm still tracking my weight, I'm still doing cardio, I'm still doing my steps. I can't not do that, because that's built in me. But I'm also able to just like, I can factor that in, it's fine. And I can do that, or I can, you know, it doesn't matter if I don't hit the exact steps on that day, I might do some more the next day, sort of thing. There's a little bit more flexibility there. Not a lot, but still get up at this time and go to the time. But yeah, it's been nice to sort of spend time, you know, with the girls and doing stuff. So.
What age is the girls now?
They're teenage age now, so they're a lot older. So yeah, we've been through that. You're embarrassing, now I'm cool again.
Did they come to your shows, or have they been to your shows?
They have been to only one show before, but I prefer that. I prefer it's just my husband coming. I just don't like the stress of worrying about other people, and they're boring as hell. Nobody wants to watch it, you know. They're quite
Unless you really love it.
It's so boring though, isn't it? You just sat there waiting for the person that you love to come on stage. The rest of it, you don't care, especially as kids.
For 2 minutes and then leave.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd be worried about saying, are they eating? Are they bored? So I know. So I'd rather them not. But yeah, it's like all the mates follow me on Instagram. It's quite funny. It's quite cool now. So.
What have they been like, sort of seeing you like lean? Because obviously you get really lean. Like,
yeah.
Do they think it's mad?
No, I don't know. They think it's what I eat is weird, yeah. And they'd be like that. But I don't know, it's just like, oh, mum's eating that and we're eating this. It's kind of a norm to them. I've never, and because I started competing when they were slightly older, it wasn't like I was worried about installing my weird eating habits onto them or anything like that, or, you know, showing them that I weigh every single day and I'm worried about my weight or anything like that. It's never been an issue. It's never been an issue for me either. Like the family eating a meal and then me sat in the corner eating something else. We're all there together still, you know. And like I say, I've also ensured my kids are independent as well and do what they want to do. So once they were old enough to sort of go off with their friends and do things, we've never had like, oh, you've got to be home at this point to eat. We all eat at different times. It's very chilled. So mum eats weird shit. I don't want to eat that, so I'll eat pizza. It's fine. It's never. But yeah, they've made comments before about like my face and that, but they know why, and they know afterwards, you know, I'll look different, and they know it's not healthy. I've said that to them, and they know why I do it. So, and they both love sports. They're both quite competitive. So yeah, they get it, I think. But I don't think any of them, no, they wouldn't do it to that extreme.
Do you think? Do you think they'd be taking it up?
No, my youngest likes the gym, but no, she wouldn't take it to that extreme. No.
No, I think yeah, you just have to I honestly just think you have to have a screw loose to keep
Yeah.
doing it and doing it and doing it.
It
You
is mad. It's such a niche thing, and you can't unless you're at that mindset. You don't. I don't expect anyone to get it because it's crazy. It is stupid. And if I had to explain it to somebody who doesn't get it, I'm hearing myself thinking, you sound like a twat.
yeah.
It's stupid. But unless you're in that little circle and you get
Yeah.
each other, it's almost like it doesn't, you don't want to mix with everybody else.
No, nobody. And people are like, but why are you so miserable? And you keep doing it. Well, because I have to, but you can stop. But yeah, but I don't want to. But you're miserable.
No.
Yes, every day.
Yeah.
And you haven't eaten a carb in how long? Oh God, I don't know. I'm so hungry all of the time. I'm so tired. But you keep doing it. Yes, because I love it. But I hate it.
But that's why
Yeah.
the thing is, you've got to say that's why I do it, because
Yeah.
you couldn't, and this is the challenge that I love.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do it, and that's why I do it. But,
Yeah.
Obviously you are a trained by JP athlete. So was that involved, or how did you get involved with it? And yeah, tell us about
it was like that. So I think pretty sure it's 2017 when I started working with Jordan. So I've been working with 2016, might have been 2016 actually. So I've been working with him for a couple of years. So we had quite a good sort of relationship. He knew what I was all about. He knew, how I put myself out on Instagram. He knew how I spoke to other people, and through Jordan, I knew Corin as well. So we'd sort of chat a little bit on Instagram. So he kind of knew me as a person. And then in 2018, I flew out to Italy to do a pro qualifier. And Corin was out there with her dad. And that was the year that she won her pro card. And I placed second. And we were backstage and we were chatting for ages and ages backstage. And she said to me, hang on a minute, I just need to go and make a phone call. And she went and obviously spoke to Jordan. And she came back, she goes, how do you fancy coming on board as a JP athlete? So I think sort of partly me working with Jordan, then understanding me, and then me and Corin connecting so well backstage. And she was like, yeah, you're the right sort of fit. So that was it really. So since 2018, I've been working with them as an athlete, which has been amazing. I love everything about the brand. I love everything about what they stand for. The supplements I would recommend to anyone that, it's just, yeah.
I think like the community forum part of it as well, like, because obviously you as an athlete are like a bit like an educator really, aren't you? Like to answer questions to people. And I think that as well will have helped you with your own journey as well, like because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love helping people as well. And yeah, because Jordan and Corin do so much for me and for the other athletes, it's, I feel like it's the least I can do, be active on the forum every single day and helping other people, because that's what we want as a brand. We don't want to just be a brand. We want to help people on their journeys, on their bodybuilding journeys as well. And the forum's so active. There's people on there every single day asking questions, and it's really, really helpful to people. And I get a lot of inboxes as well, just private DMs saying, thank you, you helped me a lot by answering this question, blah blah. So yeah, I love being a part of that. Yeah, it's really good.
Such a great resource. If anyone listening hasn't checked out the Train by JP website, it's a subscription based kind of deal, and there is just so much information on there. It's absolutely fantastic.
I mean, you can just sit back and be quiet and read everything, or you can ask questions. You don't have to sort of ask questions. You can just go through all the education videos, our logs. All the athletes, we all have our own separate logs. We will write every single day about what we've been doing. If it's a rest day, it's pretty boring, but you can see, on the training days, we'll write exactly what we've been training, so you can sort of get an idea of our split. If you're struggling writing your own plans, you can have a look. You can ask us questions on our private athlete logs, or you can ask questions in the forums, and we all get back to you. And it's a really good resource, it really is.
Yeah. Scarlett, I think you were going to ask something there. Were you?
I don't know. Don't think so. If I was, it's gone.
Claire, you mentioned that your hobby is or was in the forces. Were you? Did you start competing and prepping when he was still doing that and like going overseas?
Was he overseas then? Not as much. It was in the early years really. Then he went off and did like the 6 months tours. As the longer we've been together, the further up the ranks he's gone, and the more sort of office space jobs he's got as he's gone up the ranks. So he's not away as much at the moment. When I first started competing, he was away for like a little bit of stuff, but that's fine. I actually get on better when I'm by myself, because I don't have to smile at anybody. I don't have to talk to anybody. I can just get my meals, and I actually like it. I prefer being by myself. I wouldn't even care if I didn't speak to one person, to be fair, when I'm on prep. I like just to get on with it. Yeah, I mean, he's very understanding and he's very independent as well. So he does his own things. We're not sort of in each other's pockets. Even when we're together, we still sort of do our own thing. So he originally he was very into weight training and that side of it, but throughout the forces he's had so many injuries and so many near-death experiences. He's got to a point where he can't do that as much nowadays because his back's in bits and his shoulders have messed up. And so he actually started cycling as part of his rehab after he had a fusion on his back. And he, fortunately, because there was a period of time where that was really, really tough, where I was still going to the gym and he was basically bedbound, recovering, and I couldn't come back and go, oh yeah, I've just got PB, you can't train. So it was a very, very hard, I'd say 6 months to a year, where we sort of, I could tell he was almost going into a depression because it's like he's had that part taken away from him. But yeah, so he started cycling just to sort of rehab for his back, and he really got into that to a point now where he's got like 4 bikes and he races and he's really good at it. So whenever he's home and he's like, I'm going out for cycling, I'm like, go, just go, it's fine, I don't care, go for all day, I don't care, because it's nice that he's got that now. So I'll, even at the moment he's working in London a lot and back some weekends. So even when he's back on the weekends, I'll still go to the gym if it's a training day for me, and he'll go out and cycle, and we'll see each other later on in the day and stuff. So yeah, we've always been very supportive of each other and just do our own thing still. And yeah,
I think that's so important though, and it's such a lovely message. Like, even though he's not competing and you just have that kind of nature of relationship, it's supportive. If they, you do you, I'll do me. We both have different interests, but we're always kind of backing each other. So I think for people who maybe are, I don't know, a little bit like wary of getting into it, or feel oh, I can't do it because like my partner's just it's not for him, and they're kind of holding themselves back in fear of like what a partner will say or what someone else will say, or I think once you're in a good environment, i.e. like a supportive one, people aren't not wanting you to do things, I think it's just
it definitely depends on the people, because if you're so used to living in each other's company constantly, always doing things together, and find it hard to be apart, that's tough. I don't know, because I remember as well, just relating back to sort of living in married quarters and my husband going away. He'd go away even if once I'd had the kids and I was looking after the kids by myself, I was fine. It was like, you're away now, this is my routine, this is what we do, let's just get on with it. And I'd just get on with it. But then I'd have people around me whose husbands are away as well, and they'd always have family come and stay with them, or they'd have friends come and stay with them because they can't be on their own, and they struggle on their own. And it's that kind of relationship when you're so needy that I don't know, this kind of lifestyle might not be suited to them.
Yeah.
My husband's constantly ringing back, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? We've never had that. We totally trust each other, and he'll call me when he can call me, and I'll call him when I can call him. And if I'm off doing something, that's cool. Because, you know, so yeah, I think it's very dependent on the couple. And so I know a lot of people also say you can't be with somebody who doesn't compete. You should always be like, and which again, I'm proof that that's not the case.
Yeah.
I think that would be quite tough actually, because I know the kind of person I am. I'm very OCD, controlling, need to do this, if you've got two people like that, I don't know, I'd find that very hard. Yeah. My husband's quite chilled and relaxed, and he'll eat when he wants to eat, he'll sleep when he wants to sleep, he's not got any kind of routine, he'll sleep in on a weekend, he'll get up when he wants. If he was like, oh, I'm getting up, I'm like, no, that's my time, I actually like the fact that I get up first, do my cardio while everyone's asleep, and I can start cleaning the house. Yeah. And then I feel chilled when everybody wakes up, and I'm like, oh, if someone else was getting up doing stuff, I'd be like, no, that's my job. That's, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'd cope. Yeah. It works for a lot of people, I know, but I don't know.
It works. Yeah, like myself, my partner competes as well, and we have done back-to-back preps this year. We will never do that again. That was a terrible idea. Like, that was really rough. And like no date nights for a year. So we'll definitely prep together the next time, but we'll see. That probably brings its own challenges. Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, it works for a lot of people. But I don't know. I like being in control. Someone else.
You're designing your own days and your routine, and like when you said about your partner being away, and you know, you saying, right, this is how my day looks like, you know, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. I think a lot of people, when like, even let's say clients I work with, a lot of their partners that live over here would be working up north in the mines, and you know, they just use it as such an excuse sometimes that, oh, well, you know, my partner was away, so I had to do this, that, and the other. I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't go to the gym. Then when the partner's home, oh, I had to eat out, I had to do this, I couldn't do it. So then it gets done no time, you know, because there's an excuse either week. Yeah. So I think, just having that mindset of, I'm doing me, and this is my routine, and you can just slot
and that's just comes down to the people again and the relationship, and if you're both understanding about that, then that's cool and that works. So
100%. Yeah. Scarlett, did you remember your question?
No, it was literally just on about the it was when we were talking about the JP forum. I remembered it just about the videos and stuff, because I remember when I first did my first prep, and it was in COVID. Well, it was when the gyms had like first started, like they'd like shut down again, so I had to get this like little rower, like foldy up rower, to do in the living room. And I remember watching all the videos, you know, on the site to get me through the cardio. It's like I just remembered that. But do
you know what? When you look back at that, it was such a stupid time. The things I was trying to find in the garage that I could use as like anything related to training. I was literally squatting, lifting up with the sofa with my daughter on it to get some kind of resistance on my legs. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I was using books in like gym bags, trying to like put it on my back and lunge, like, oh God.
Dipping between the wheelie bins, smashing the wheelie bins. I've got cracked pavements outdoors from deadlifting on my pavements. Still to this day, we haven't changed them. Got massive cracks in my pavement. Oh, madness. Squatting, like, really
dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Too funny.
Crazy. No, never again.
So never going back. I'm literally traumatized from writing home workout plans from COVID. I can't do it.
I've still got a book. I had like a little exercise book, COVID plan. It was like wheelie bean dips, sofa squat.
Burn it. I'm conscious we have you on quite a long time, so I don't want to keep up too much longer. But what advice would you have for kind of up and coming athletes who are maybe at it a little while and just struggling to see themselves go all the way and struggling to kind of keep that self-belief going and, you know, just, you know, find themselves, you know, with that kind of self-doubt and you know, just lacking a little bit of love. Like, what would you say to people that are
I
in?
would literally say, don't put pressure on yourself and literally live by the routine day by day. If you are putting the work in every single day and following a plan, there's no way you're not going to improve. There's no way you're not going to progress. And eventually it will come. You can't just suddenly say, I want to turn pro by so many months or in, you know, such and such a year. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Just enjoy it, because ultimately we do it because we enjoy it. So just go through your preps, go through your gaining phases and enjoy the process, and the progress will come. And when that time's right, when you've made significant enough progress to become pro worthy, it will happen. You can't, I think go into it with the right mindset and the right reasons. Don't go into it because you want to be a pro. Go into it because you enjoy it. And that's ultimately how I fell into bodybuilding, is because I loved weight training. It wasn't because I wanted to compete. And when I started competing, it wasn't because I wanted to turn pro. It was just a natural progression.
Yeah.
So don't put pressure on yourself and just enjoy the process, and it will happen when it happens. Chill.
We ask everyone this at the end of the show because we love food, so we assume everyone else that comes on does.
Yeah, I love that food myself.
And you mentioned you were living your best life this year with a little bit more flexibility. So what would your death row meal be, or what's your favorite like off-plan meal?
Oh, my favorite meal would be a Thai green chicken curry, hands down.
I do love a good.
I'm not really a burger or pizza kind of person.
Yeah, no.
I love a Thai green chicken curry with like a sticky rice. That is my ultimate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I argue with that one. Scarlett, do you have anything to add?
No, that was great. Really, really good. I think it's like, it's really valuable to get that story from like a long time frame, because like you said, like people obviously come in now with, you know, Instagram being the way that it is, and like, you know, you do get them people that do one season and turn pro and stuff, and then people expect that. And I just think like you said, if you do enjoy the lifestyle and the, you know, the training and the way that you live, like if it's meant to be, then it's meant to be, and if not, then you just, you know, you just keep going and enjoy it rather than putting that pressure on yourself, like you said. So yeah, I really
think you get
it.
more out of it when you do eventually get there, because if I just started competing and then turn pro, it's like, well, you know, I haven't had all those challenges to get there. So I think the process is part of it, and so embrace that and enjoy that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed Claire's story and got a lot of inspiration from it like we did. So make sure you leave us a little thumbs up, positive review if you loved it, and we will see you and chat to you all again next week. Thank you so much for listening.